let me share the trifle dish. The trifle dish that has been a dish that you have seen for decades. It's not something new, but I stumbled upon it, pulled it out of my cabinet, and decided to finally use it, and it changed everything. My family became obsessed with anything I put in it. It was like magic. Any salad or dessert immediately disappears when you put it in here. I am going to continue to use it, but in this video, I want to share with you the salads I have made so far and the desserts I whipped up and put in this trifle dish. So let's get into it and I'll show you all about it. Oh, and before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. All right, let's get to it. This is the salad that started my trifle dish obsession. It is a taco layered salad. I saw it on Pinterest and I ate with my eyes first. I thought it looked beautiful and I had to recreate it. I didn't realize two things. One, how easy it was going to be, and two, how much my family was going to love this. You start with your base of lettuce. I am just using regular iceberg lettuce that I've chopped. I put a can of black beans that I've rinsed and drained, and then I'm cooking down some protein. This is ground turkey. You could also use ground chicken. You could use, of course, ground beef, anything you like. And then a can of whole kernel corn. That is a beautiful yellow color. And then now a green layer, which is my avocado that I have just chopped and diced. And then my dressing. My dressing is super simple. It is just sour cream. I stirred in some lime juice to thin it out. And then I mixed in some tahini seasoning. I just spread that out, so you want your dressing to be a little thick, and it came out perfect. And then I added some chopped grape tomatoes around for a beautiful red contrast. A dollop of the sour cream, a little lime wedge, and some chopped cilantro that I just sprinkled all on top. And that is all there is to it. My family, they loved this. My son, who, yes, he'll eat a salad, but this, he gobbled it up. I mean, it was gone in minutes. This started my obsession, and my next salad is going to be inspired by a charcuterie board. A lot of times we're making those charcuterie boards, right? And they have a lot of cheese and olives and meats and deli items, and they have vegetables. And your charcuterie board is basically all the fixings for a salad. So if you have leftovers like I do, all you really need is some sort of lettuce, your iceberg head of lettuce, and I went ahead and we just chopped that up. So I'm gonna add that to the base of the bowl, and then I have these slices of pepperoni. I will chop that and put that on top of the lettuce. The little pearls, I can put them in there without having to cut them. Yeah, they're already nice and tiny. It's perfect. These mozzarella pearls add a great white layer. And on top of that, I'm gonna add these chopped cucumbers. I also have some salami, which I'll chop, and deli meat is so great for trifle dishes. They stick to the side of the bowl so well, so they really help you with those layers. And now I'm gonna make my dressing. Using some simple ingredients, I'm gonna do about a half a cup of mayo. It's about a fourth a cup of sour cream, pinch of Dijon mustard, vinegar, some balsamic vinegar, 2. Okay, just a splash of lemon juice, a sprinkle of salt, and now it is ready to stir and put on top of my salad. Once again, your salad dressing is to be a little thick so it doesn't seep into your entire salad. I'm gonna add a layer of grape tomatoes again. I just love how that red just pops. A little bit more lettuce. I'm grating up some Parmesan cheese. I'll put that on top, and now some red onions that I finally diced. Oh, I also had this honey ham left over. I just had that in the fridge. I thought, what a perfect way to add a little bit more deli meat, and also had this cucumber remaining as well. Top that to give it that final green on top. Put a little more dressing, just a dollop of it in the middle, and I'm gonna add just a few little cucumbers and tomatoes just to add some color in the middle there. And that is it. My beautiful Italian layered salad. Beautiful. Once again, the family ate it up. Now that I knew my family would eat leftovers if visually pleasing in this trifle dish, I decided to do it again with Thanksgiving dinner leftovers. I promise this will not be anything like the trifle that was made by Rachel and Friends. It will be a lot more appetizing, I hope. And it will start with our protein being our turkey. I took the meat off the leg and some of the white meat, and I put that all on top of the lettuce. Next, I'm adding some cabbage slaw mix I had left over and some chopped red onion. I did cook some bacon in the air fryer, got that all crisp up, and that is going to be great in here. So it's kind of turning into a turkey Cobb salad. And then I'll add a little bit more of that slaw and then a nice great green layer of that avocado. I'll then top it with my ranch dressing. I'll drizzle that all over, and then I added some shredded cheese, a blend. You can use any cheese and you can use any type of dressing as well. But here's where the Thanksgiving comes back into play. These were the deviled eggs as an appetizer at Thanksgiving, and I just put them on top. Perfect. Everyone always asks me, well, how do you serve this? Well, there's any way you can serve it. You can get a big old spoon. What I like to use are just some tongs, and I'm actually just gonna go past the egg right now. And look at that, your tongs are gonna be perfect to get every layer. So just kind of put it like that. Like that. And then I'm just gonna put one of those eggs, serve it. Just like that. It's that easy. Next up, I'm sharing two more variations, of course, using my trifle dish. And these are going to be salads. But here's what's interesting. I used up salad kits. I used up what I already had in the fridge. And even if it's just a little bit, I was finding that we weren't eating as many of these salad prepped kits. They would start to go bad. And a lot of it is because it's not prepared and it's not visually pleasing, just sitting in a bag and nobody was thinking about it. So I put it all together. I even had some chicken tenders that were left over. I chopped those up to add more protein to the salad and added more vegetables, including cucumbers, and then of course cheese on top, a cheese blend that I had left over. And then from a salad kit, I used up the dressing and then the crunchy tortilla bits that were part of the kit as well. And it came out perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Use up what I had, be creative, and it's visually pleasing, and the family didn't disappoint. They ate it up. My trifle dish obsession did not stop with salads. I am using it for desserts, and I'm bringing them to the office, specifically this one for Valentine's Day. And we're starting with our first layer, which is our cheesecake flavored pudding. And it's the instant kind with 2 cups of milk, and I just added a couple drops of red food coloring to give it that pink color. But you can use any flavor of pudding. The next layer is our classic pound cake from Sara Lee. This is in the freezer section. It's my favorite pound cake. It's moist and sweet, but you can use any cake. You can use angel food cake. You can make a cake from scratch, any flavor you'd like. And I just defrosted the cake in the fridge and cut it into bite-sized cubes. The next layer are my strawberries that I have cut up after washing and thoroughly drying them. Next up is the whipped cream that I made from scratch. It is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Next, I'm adding fresh raspberries for another vibrant color layer. Finishing up the layers with additional
Our first layer starts with our triple chocolate fudge cake, which I will make according to the directions on the back of the box. More pound cake gives it a nice flat layer for our whipped cream. I topped it with a few final strawberries, and I was going for a heart, but I ended up with a star. But the layers and the colors, it turned out perfect. My coworkers enjoyed it so much, I decided to make another for St. Patrick's Day. This time, a mint chocolate layered trifle.
Greased a 9x13 baking dish. Our next layer is pudding. So I'm going to do 6 ounces of pudding mix. This is instant pudding mix. 3.
Next, we're making our whipped topping, which is 1.5 cups of heavy cream with 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. We're adding a teaspoon of peppermint extract and also a 1/2 teaspoon. I have my double strength Madagascar bourbon pure vanilla from Pampered Chef. And then I'm going to add in a drop at a time of green food coloring until I get the perfect color of a light green. We're going to make a crumbled cookie with our grasshopper mint cookies from Keebler's, and we're going to put them in a plastic bag and pound the crap out of them until they turn into bits. Girl Scouts Thin Mint cookies would also be great. I wanted a little more whipped topping for piping, and I knew my Pampered Chef whipped cream maker was going to be perfect. So using the same ingredients, just smaller amounts, I put them into the base and whip it out. I store the prepared whipped cream in the fridge overnight, and now in the morning I am ready to assemble. This dessert was an absolute hit with the office, and I am so excited to make more desserts with it in the future, but now let's get back to salads. The salad I'm making now is a use up what I have, use up my leftover salad, and I am using up the cheese that I have left. It is some sharp white cheddar cheese and some feta. I have that on top of spinach leaves, tomatoes, and my iceberg lettuce. For the protein in this, what I'm using is deli turkey, but what I did was I stacked the slices so I could have thicker pieces, and I'm putting them all around in a layer. That way you can actually see the contrast of color. I add more shredded lettuce to give it filler and also add more green, and with the green I'm also adding cucumbers. I put them as half moons and I put them all along the sides, and I think they come out really cool looking. I'll add some chopped red onions, and then I also add more deli meat. I had some ham left over, so I'm going to put that on top. For the dressing, I made a green goddess dressing from scratch using fresh herbs. I have a video on that with making homemade dressings. I'll put a link down below so you can see that video in detail. And then I'm adding just some crisps, some tortilla chips for crunch, and some green onions. And then I had these cheese crisps. Just crumbs were left in the bag, but I thought they'd be great for crunch. Here's my final salad, and before it could even make it to the fridge, my son grabbed a fork and already started diving into it. I'm telling you, he loves these salads, and therefore I will continue making this my obsession to make salads in a trifle dish. They are always a hit. Now here's a sneak peek of what I'm whipping up for the next salad group, and that will be a video that's coming out soon. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified when that video is ready.
I hope you get inspired to find your trifle dish if you have it in the back of your cabinet and pull it out and use it again, or to go out and get one to whip up, I'm not kidding, magical dishes that your family will eat.
As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.